Hello, fire signs. We are here with your reading for the beginning of July. So this is going to be a reading. There will be timestamps in the description. I'll put them in the comments too, so everybody can see. Maybe just in the comments, actually, so everyone has easy access to them. So this will be, we'll be doing Aries, Sag, and also Leo. I hope that everybody's doing well. We're going to start off with Aries. Before we do get started, though, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So I'm seeing a plan that you're making and something that you feel really needs your time and care to pay attention to. This may be something like very particular, maybe detail oriented that you're doing, wanting to make sure that you're not missing anything. This can also be about like where you're going next as well. All right, we have the King of Cups and the Two of Cups. Somebody you feel connected with, but also somebody you may be taking a break from. I'm hearing something about a trip also, Aries. Remember too that wherever you have Aries in your chart, that's going to depend on how this resonates. Those of you that are Aries moon like me, there can be a focus on what you're experiencing emotionally. So it may not be like physical things that are happening, but what's being described as physical things happening can be like more metaphorically what's going on, and it's going to be more of an indicator of what's going on an emotional level for you. If Aries is your moon, if Aries is your Venus, this can be insight as to what's going on in a relationship of yours. If Aries is your Mars, it can have to do with like you taking action, how you're asserting yourself. Can also have to do with like how you're putting it down within a relationship. If Aries is your sun, it can have to do with like projects and creativity and your passions and your purpose. If Aries is your rising, it can very much be like the physical manifestation. What's being described are really going to be events that will be playing out. Is that everybody? Aries Mercury. I feel like nobody's going to watch for Aries Mercury, but if you do, it can have to do with like how your brain is feeling about things, psychologically, how you're processing things, conversations that you're having, what you're communicating, what you want to get out there verbally. I'm hearing headstrong. Definitely an archetype of Aries. Okay, so I'm seeing you like try to remain cool because you care about this person, but I'm also seeing things not feel particularly easy right now, Aries. Like you love this person, you have deep love for this person, but also you have deep like arguments for this person as well. Yeah, it seems like maybe getting in the way and like not allowing you to enjoy something that you want to enjoy with this person. Like you see them as your Two of Cups. Two of Cups, it's like a non-expendable person in your life. It's somebody that you really, really connect with on a deep level. It's like one of those rare connections that you have with somebody that means a lot to you. But you may feel like practically there are a lot of things that are becoming issues. Like emotions may not be the issue with this person. You may be like, I love you no matter what. However, certain things aren't working here. And I feel like it's not allowing me to enjoy the connection here with you. But I'm seeing you definitely be like very emotionally involved. You're coming out as the King of Cups. So grounded, centered, like doing your best to use your coping strategies, but you may feel like you're being really tested right now. You might feel like your kindness is being taken advantage of a bit, and this may having you feel like you need to close yourself off to the connection with this person based off of the back and forth that's happening with them. That's not feeling so great right now. Definitely feels like a really like robust confrontational energy between the two of you. Like I just get a lot of back and forth here, like a lot of heat is what I'm feeling. Like somebody's coming through and they're opening a door, but I'm seeing you be like, why are you holding the door for me like that? There's something here that you may not like feel completely trusting of with this person. Ooh. Ooh, okay, okay. We have, all at one time, we have the Tower, the Ace of Swords, and the Devil coming out. something could have happened that you didn't, like, not realize about this person that is clearly an issue or a problem. I'm seeing this be, like, very surprising, this thing that comes to light. This is, like, somebody being involved in something where you're like, oh, that's, like, actually an issue. Like, this isn't just gonna go away. Somebody could have, issues with, like, dependency, addiction, something that they're very involved in, that they are, it's going to be very hard for them to, like, separate themselves from. This is going to feel like a very big problem to you. Like, this person is connected with something very problematic. They could be attached to something that you see as being very problematic. They could have, like, an attachment of some sort, you know, which is, like, karmically something for this person to be working through, but it may not have been something that you saw before. This is like the whole mask falls off type of moment that you have with this person. Like, I'm even getting this vibe of them sort of, like, gesturing towards you in a particular way. Something could have happened where you felt like you were trying to hold space or, like, trying to be, like, emotionally present, and you feel like the attitude that they came through with you, like, you did not feel supported. And, like, to have this opportunity come up, this can be, like, an opportunity that somebody's like, I may take that, but you would see this as maybe being, like, a selfish thing that they do. You're like, if you take that opportunity, like, you don't really care about me or you're not looking out for me. It may feel like that, okay? We're not saying that this person doesn't care for you, but it may have felt like something that maybe, like, crossed a line or crossed a boundary for you, or, like, it's not aligned with your values. Like, it can be somebody doing something that you're like, that's really inconsiderate of my feelings. But you may have not known that they were in this place, and now this thing happens and you're like, I really thought that things were different. Like, it can be a really big moment like that where you didn't realize. Like, these are really huge energies to be coming through, but the most, like, amazing, brilliant aspect of this is that with the Ace of Swords, whatever had been going on beneath the surface that you were like, I feel like I don't have a clear, like, concept of exactly what's happening here, and I feel like something is coming, but I haven't had that moment yet. This is that breakthrough moment where you realize exactly what's happening, you realize exactly what it is, exactly what's going on, why you felt the way that you felt, what's been happening this whole time. It's like this moment of pristine clarity that you have, and that's why this is so important. It's why it's so valuable. So even though this is associated with the Tower and the Devil, which can be like, I had no idea that this is what was going on, but now that I do know, I can see things clearly. You see everything for what it is now, which is so very important. So very important. You may also see, too, that, like, because of the attachment that you have with this person, you may have been, like, letting them treat you in a type of way that you were like, if I didn't have that type of connection with this person, with someone, I would never let them treat me like that. Can be something like that. Like, you could have been putting up with stuff that, because this person had their foot in the door, you could have, like, allowed something to continue. But I'm seeing you just see things very clearly right now. So this is a very beautiful moment. Even though it may feel very shocking and very, like, a visceral moment to see all of this, it's so, so, so important. Because you're not in the dark anymore. Like, this is a moment where the light, like, completely breaks through. Like, something has completely, some illusion has been completely shattered here within this situation. This is definitely a breakthrough moment for you. So you have the truth now. It's still, you may know all of this and still find it hard to break away or separate yourself because of how deep the attachment lies. But the thing is that there's, like, a corruption here with you and this person. Having the devil be associated with the Two of Cups, this means that like you are close with them and you are connected with this person, but there's also a dependency that is unhealthy. This can be like a codependency. Something that, like, if that attachment, if that dependency weren't there, it would alter the way that you would perceive the connection. But when you, like, convince yourself that you need something outside of yourself, it creates the opportunity for you to get attached to something in a way that you may feel sort of, you give your power to that thing. Because the devil is always something that comes through that feels good in a moment, right? It's like something that is like the best band-aid ever, you know? It's something that you may use to self-soothe. Maybe something that you cling to that allows you to feel safe at times. But the thing with the devil is that as much as it's like a dream that we buy into or something that like takes away our problems in a moment, it doesn't actually get to the root of what's really going on. And it creates a dependency with you thinking that you need something outside of yourself. And the more attached you get to it, the more you're like, I'm gonna die without it. So it like really takes away like your autonomy within a situation. Well, it's given away. Yeah, and that's where the confusion comes in. Because, like, the devil does such a good job at convincing you that you need it. And so it has you questioning, like, do I need it? Am I going to be able to be okay without that? Do I want to separate from it? It's like, even if it's not an addiction to, like, a substance, like, addictions, it's an energetic thing. It's a frequency. It comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And it seems like that's something that's been playing out between you and this person. It's like this, if you can back up enough to see the patterns of how it works, you're going to see it be exactly that. But the devil really like blurs our vision for sure. It makes things unclear. It has you confused as well about what you want to. Like you feel out of touch with yourself. And it's like all you can think about is this. And like all of the other stuff is just like not making sense anymore, you know? Because it's like you're not soberly seeing things. And that's why it's so tricky. You like really fall into the illusion of that, like fall into the matrix of it. How you can know something is the devil, though, is that it's not going to... Devil can be fear-based for sure. It can also be like you connecting with something on a fear level as well. The devil is not going to create like independence and empowerment. It's gonna be something that you feel kind of like trapped and chained to. And that's how you're going to know what it is. It's something that, like, when you really check in with yourself, you're like, I don't actually think that this is the healthiest thing for me. Like, there is that sense of awareness there. But it's something that you may want it to be. Yeah. I'm seeing this definitely. It feels like this. Even though for many of you, like, I'm not seeing this be, like, an addiction to, like, a substance. I'm seeing this more so be within a relationship. Nonetheless, we're going to describe it. Let's say, whatever this thing is for you, because of this, like, clouding your sense of judgment, because of your connection to it, like, you need to titrate off of it. Like, you need to come off of it. Because until then, it's like you're not going to feel like spiritually sober enough to have the clarity that you need to know what's actually going to bring you happiness and fulfillment. Like you may feel, you know, when you like take something, or like when somebody takes something and because they've been like relying on like that pill or whatever, like without it, they feel like their body's not creating like dopamine and stuff like that. Okay. And so you have to titrate off of it and allow your system to build it back up within, because you've been relying on this thing to give you those hits of whatever it is that it's been giving you. Like that high every time you connect with this. And so, of course, you're still in the space where you're like, I need that to be happy, but it's actually just an illusion. Like, it's not true. And so you have to break away enough to be able to lean on your logic rather than moving through this emotionally, which seems like that's what you've been doing, but not in a clear emotional state. And that's why things have gotten to where they've gotten to. And I want to say this too. This is not you knowingly going into a situation and being like, yeah, I'm going to hook up with the devil here within this situation. This is something that it starts off in a way where it is not like that at all, but it ends up, like if you compare now to where you started, you're like, how did all of this stuff happen in between? And it's because you get lost in the process. It's a karmic cycle that unfolds. So know that you didn't consciously, willingly go into this situation, and now it is what it is in this space where you're like choosing the devil every day, you know? The devil in and of itself is separation. It's our distorted attempt to reach for the light. Like, we are reaching for the light. We are reaching for that thing that we feel is going to make us whole. We're just going about it in a way where we're not actually going to get there. But it's telling us that that's how we're going to get there. And that's why it's so confusing. And that's also why this tower needed to happen. Because it seemed like, here we go. It seemed like unless this is somebody you've been dealing with for a long, long time. Like, you've had past lives with this person for sure. I'm hearing this is finally the time. You're going to walk away from this for good. Like, this is a final ending that's happening here. Final ending that's happening here. The thing with the tower is that you may have needed something to happen in such a severe way that there was like nothing else to see but the truth within a situation. And that's why it needed to be the way that it is. Like, you may, especially just like speaking of Aries, archetypally speaking, we can be a bit like stubborn and obstinate sometimes, like, this is what I'm gonna do and I'm not changing my mind, and like not wanting to have to go backwards after you make a choice, you know, like sometimes pride getting in the way, or like wanting things to work out in a particular way, like wanting our choices to be right, of course, but then having to like do this backtrack thing. And also getting ourselves into situations too where it's like trying to find the line between impulse and instinct. Like, am I going with my instinct here, or am I just being impulsive? Are they the same thing sometimes? Do they overlap with one another? I feel like that's definitely a big thing when it comes to Aries, because the archetype of Aries, we are meant to be leaders. We are meant to be the ones that are going to get it done, like the leader of the pack, to make the decisions first, to need to jump on something and react very quickly, respond very quickly to a situation. And so you could have been doing everything and been like, I feel like I'm just going off of instinct and what I'm doing within this situation. And this is something that's teaching you to rely on something like bigger and grander than just that. This is you like using alchemy and using transmutation and like elevating through this process. So I'm seeing like so much that you're learning about yourself through this connection that you've had with this person. I'm almost seeing this thing where it's like until the very last minute, like the devil has still been convincing you that you need it. And then as soon as this epiphany happens, like this moment with the Ace of Swords, that's like all illusion again is shattered. It's just immense clarity and you being able to see everything for what it is. That's where I'm seeing the final end. It's like the execution of this cycle that's been happening that cuts through that circle and allows you to continue energetically. And you finally being like, I know now more than ever I'm not going to find what I need here, and I'm finally allowing myself to walk away. Which it seems like you really like rode this cycle very, very hard as well. And so you may be in a space where you're like, I did everything I possibly could, and now I really feel like I can truly walk away from this. And I can truly move on now. I'm seeing Capricorn and Mars here. Mars and Capricorn is actually exalted, so this to me feels like a sign of you really exercising your Mars energy, which is your ability to discern when to take action and what to do and what's aligned with what you're feeling as well, and make an executive decision and stick with that and trust yourself. All right, Aries, we are going to leave the reading here and we are going to open it up for Sagittarius. All right, Sag, let's see what we have going on here for you guys. You're headed straight for the truth, Sag. As per usual. Whatever this was, whatever this clarity was that you were looking for, whatever answer this was that you were seeking, I'm seeing that that's exactly what you're going to be finding. It seems like you set out to figure this out, to find this out. So this can be like information, an answer, knowing which way that you're going to go with something. Whatever it is, it had been something you'd been trying to figure out. You have the information now, and now you may be figuring out, like, how do I best use this information? Like, for some of you, I'm getting you could have been trying to figure out something with, like, an apartment, something like that, and you could have, like, been torn between, like, locations. Now you know where you're going to go. You just have to figure out, like, which building you want to go to, stuff like that. Where you're definitely moving along here. Something has definitely tried your patience. I'm seeing it's kind of taken some time. We're starting off with the Nine of Cups. I'm seeing tech here. Nine of Cups is you being in a space where you're, like, very clear on what you want. It can also be a focus on you, like, counting your blessings and being grateful for what you have as well. So 2, 2, 2, 2 on the time. So what are you thinking, Sag? Something could have happened in, like, an extremely satisfying way for you. I'm seeing somebody come through to reach out to you, but you may kind of feel like this person is bad news, or just that they're going to bring something. I was seeing the Devil with the Knight of Cups. Okay. There's, like, a tower that's associated with something that you wanted. Seeing the Devil and the Knight of Cups, you could have somebody trying to reach out to you, but you may feel like they kind of have a bit of a radioactive energy around them. So you may be feeling a bit cautious with this person. Nine of Cups and a tower. So there's something very, very surprising, and it's in the vein of something that you want. Let's see what comes after. Because tower isn't necessarily... There's an unexpected update I'm seeing you get about what's taking place. So it's like this. You have these seeds that you planted in your garden, and you're like, I definitely want this moonflower to be blooming, and you've been, like, watering it, and you can't wait until this thing comes up, right? And I'm seeing you get this, like, very unexpected news. I'm seeing the tower be, like, information that you get, like, news that you get, like, an event where it kind of shakes things into place, but I'm seeing it be part of the progress that you're making that's associated with this thing that you've been nurturing. And it happens, like, when you're halfway between something actually happening. It's like you planted the seeds, but they haven't bloomed yet, and you're in that in-between space. So something is, like, taking place within the garden, okay? But I'm seeing this be a progressive moment for you. And now you have to decide something with this information now that you have. A choice needs to be made. It's associated with what you want to be investing in, because there may be an option now for you to invest in something that you did not have the option of investing in before, but you may not feel like this is an easy choice for you, because I'm seeing you feel a bit on the fence about this. You're going to make the right decision. You're going to make the right decision. You got this. You may also be in a space where, like, you can either see through what you've already invested in, or you can switch over. It feels like you can't do both. You're going to have to pick. Unless you find a loophole. Because never say never, right, Sag? You're going to feel like things around you are happening in a very, very particular way. Like nothing feels haphazard. All of it feels very strategic. Like I feel you fully awake just watching things that are happening, like being very, very observant and sort of like following the cues. You can decide like whether or not you want to stick around for something. You could have also been like, I think that I want this thing, and then it felt like the universe was maybe pushing you in a different direction, and you didn't know whether or not you wanted to continue investing in it. I'm seeing the Six of Swords here and the Ten of Wands. This can be like a desire to move on or move through something, but feeling it's like you want to get in the boat to get to like that next plot of land, but the boat has too much stuff in it, and so it's like not really moving. This is what I'm seeing. You may put a pause on everything for the time being. I'm seeing that there's somebody here that you're connecting with. There's somebody here that you're talking with that's like meant to help you. Maybe bouncing ideas off of them, or just like having a conversation where you're getting insight. It seems too like you got something that you wanted, and you were like given a moment to actually enjoy it, but you could have felt like it was actually really short-lived. I'm moving things around in this spread. This could have been a situation too where you like thought that you knew where things were going, and then they ended up going in a different direction. Yeah, I'm seeing something feel very, very short-lived. It's like this thing that you wanted so much, and you like finally have it in your hands, and I'm seeing you like thoroughly enjoy this thing. Like we have 2 9s here. The 9 of Cups is like a wish fulfillment, like something coming to fruition that really matters to you, like that you care about, that you find valuable, that you feel like does something for you emotionally. And 9 of Pentacles is like being able to relax into it and like having that moment of like pure bliss and pure joy with these 2 cards. But then I'm seeing a Tower happen. So it's kind of like the party's over now. Whatever this thing was that you, like, I'm seeing you really have like pure bliss within a moment. And then the Tower happens, and this thing is kind of maybe snatched away from you, or it's like, okay, like your time is up now. You have to share the toy with your brother. And it feels very much like a moment like that. And I'm seeing Mars and Saturn here. So this is something that would have happened in a very abrupt way where you're like, I wasn't ready to give it up, and the universe is like taking this thing back from you. It's like you worked so hard to manifest this and you only got it for 5 minutes. That's what it's feeling like. You could have felt like this was sort of like cruelly taken away from you, because like that's what Mars is like. Mars is a bully. So yeah, something could have sort of bulldozed its way through. And then I'm seeing the chapter close. So that chapter closes, and then I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, what am I trying to create next? It does feel like a very big moment of completion, but I'm seeing you start the next cycle like halfway through for some reason. It's like you got to skip the beginning of it and you just went right into the middle of the next cycle. You could be like definitely timeline jumping too. Okay, Ace of Swords. Whatever this choice is that you need to make, I'm seeing that you're going to make up your mind. I'm seeing you be very, very clear about this. If you have to have a conversation with somebody, I'm seeing you're leaving like no room for interpretation. I'm seeing you just be very, very straightforward, very clear, very decisive as well. It seems too like you may have learned your lesson within a situation too, potentially. Like some of you could be potentially dragged back into something and you're like, I'm not doing that again. I'm like fully moving on from this. Because maybe you feel like something wasn't meant to be. Yeah, I'm seeing you starting something new here. You are interested in this, but I'm seeing you also feel a little bit weighed back by what happened back there. Yeah, for sure. I didn't even see this and now it's coming up. It does feel like this cycle ends, and as I said before, you get thrown, the next cycle, you don't start at the beginning, you get pushed like halfway through. So it's like a half-baked cycle that you find yourself in, and you're like, that one just closed, and already I'm in the middle of this loop over here. And I'm seeing, like, immediately you have to make a choice about, like, where you're going and what you're doing, about, like, what you're putting your energy into. What matters enough to you? Like, where are you allocating your energy? And what are you investing in? What are you manifesting? But I'm seeing you have the answer here. You needed whatever happened in that last cycle for the knowledge and answer that you have now in order to make this choice. So it seems like rather than having to waste your time and be at the beginning of a cycle, they put you in the middle where this choice is, because you already have the answer that you need. And I'm seeing you say that. So whatever this is, whatever this feels like a decision through potentially like a conversation that you have with somebody. Or it can be like a mental conversation you have with yourself or your guides about where you're going. I'm seeing you be very clear on that now. Like there's something that you're not waiting around for anymore. I'm seeing you move forward with something. I'm seeing it be this Page of Wands here. So this is something that feels interesting to you. You feel engaged in this. Like you're not scared to say that either. I'm seeing you be very clear. Like this is what I'm doing now. This is where I'm going now. I'm starting this thing. Like, I'm not seeing anything hold you back from this. You've, like, made up your mind here. But to have the Ten of Wands, you may still be, like, shaking off some of the karmic residue from the cycle before, is what I'm seeing. I don't think that this is really gonna... I keep seeing the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. There may be somebody that you worked with in a past cycle that's coming through that you're going to be connecting with again. Because, you know, sometimes our lives in episodes, right? Like, some episodes, you see, like, character development in a particular way, and then you, like, don't see that character for 3 episodes. This is, like, a return episode where, like, one of the characters is coming back because they're part of the plot now. Or at least part of the current storyline. Sag. Okay. I'm seeing you like want to race through something, but I'm also seeing it's like a very delicate balance of how you do this, and if you move too quickly, it may sort of create a huge collapse in everything. So you're gonna have to go really slowly, but you're not gonna want to go slowly, is what I'm seeing. But I'm seeing your guides be like, this is a very delicate procedure here, and there's going to be this part of you that wants to go at it really hard, and you need to not do that here. Because I'm seeing it's very easy to like throw off the balance energetically. So you're going to need to be like maybe more cautious than you want to be going into this. I'm also seeing somebody meeting you in this cycle. Like, I'm seeing you don't get that far. There's something that you kind of like just start out doing, and I'm seeing somebody come to meet you that's like interested in connecting with you. But I'm also seeing it may not be your, well, okay, let me break this down in a way that's more articulate. You're doing something and you still have a lot that you're balancing. Somebody's coming through and they may have an energy that can throw off the balance of things if you do not pace them. So it can be this person influencing you in a way where you want to move through something quickly and that's going to throw off the balance. Or it can be this person, and if you don't sort of like stop them and be like, hey, we have to walk this part, then it's going to throw off balance. So whoever this person is, they're like very overzealous and excited to be here. But I'm seeing, based off of like everything that you're doing right now, because it seems like you have a whole lot on your plate, this person's energy may be a bit much, and you're gonna have to be like, we have to walk through this part here. Like, we cannot run through this part. Because I'm seeing you need to be like very deliberate. Like cautious, it seems. I'm just seeing Mars and Saturn here. Yeah, this is a door that's opening for you, but to have Temperance on the bottom of the deck, you want to walk through this door slowly. You don't want to run through. I'm hearing something about crossing the threshold. It's like you want to make sure that you have both feet on the ground when you do this. I am seeing somebody come through and want to speak with you. But you may feel like something has changed with their energy, or something has changed within your perception of their energy. All right, Sag, we are going to leave this here. Thank you, everybody, for connecting. We are going to get into the reading for Leo now. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on. Okay, I'm seeing strong Aries energy coming through. Oh, somebody wants to talk to you very much, like right now. feels like, Leo, it feels like somebody's coming through and being like, I ended that thing, like they want to come through and let you know. I'm not seeing this have to do with you. This feels like somebody else coming through, and for some reason they want to tell you that something's over now. They may have been like working up the courage to end something that needed to end, and now they want to come through and talk to you about it, Leo. This is giving me like third person perspective or like cross watcher energy. Okay, so this person's coming through to tell you that there was an ending because something was going on that was not kosher, and the justice for this situation like needed to be, I saw 40-40 on the time when I looked up, needed to be like bringing this thing to a screeching halt. Somebody could have felt like if that thing, if I didn't end that thing, whatever this was that was going on was going to continue. It feels like a friend or like somebody coming through to come tell you this stuff. And it's interesting because I'm not seeing this be your story. I'm seeing this be like somebody coming through to tell you about this. Like this person was doing that and then I had to end things, and it's like they want to give you the tea on everything that happened. Like, they definitely feel like you're an important person that they want to be talking to about this. Like, maybe you supported them through, yeah, maybe you supported them through this thing that they were going through. So, you catch wind of this. Somebody went through an ending because somebody wasn't being honest with them or they were sneaking around. I'm seeing the Judgment card here, so something happened connected with that. Maybe somebody finally saw something that they weren't ready to see before and went through a change that they weren't ready to go through before, but now they are. And so they're just like planning where they want to go next with things. For some of you, like this person is interested in you, and that's why they're telling you like, hey, I ended it with that person over there. And I'm telling you, like, they did all of this stuff. It's like they're coming through giving you like this reel of everything that's taken place within the last 24 hours. You may have been connected with this person in the past. Like this can be an ex of yours, or maybe somebody where it's like you had a connection but things never really went anywhere with them, and they'd been in a relationship and now they're coming through to tell you all of this stuff. I'm seeing them definitely feel like they like fervently want to come through and tell you this stuff that they're going through. Like this person definitely wants you to know what's going on with them, Leo. So I'm seeing them tell you this like whole storyline. They're like spoiling the whole end of the movie for you because they want you to know what's happening. And it would make sense too, like they're coming through because maybe they're trying to connect with you in that way now that things have ended with this person. Yeah, look. You're trying to be in a relationship with me? Like, this person wants to talk to you about your relationship with them. For sure. For some of you, this person was married, or there was something legally that was going on. Yeah, look, it's like, so all of that stuff happened, right? This person's coming through and telling you, and then they're like, by the way, like, how do you feel about relationships? It feels like this is now potentially going to allow a relationship to unfold with you guys. I'm like not really feeling much about where you're coming from with this. This feels like it's all connected with like how this other person feels towards you. Like, I don't know. I'm not picking up on your energy as far as how you feel. It feels like it's all this other person's energy. Because I'm seeing them be like, we can have a relationship now, you know? Like, I did this thing. It kind of feels like I did this thing for us. But I don't know how you feel about that. And, like, if you even believe that, too. But you did feel like you couldn't continue how things were going with this person, and that like the Seven of Swords needed to be eradicated. And so it seems like this now clears the pathway for you if you're interested with this person. Because whatever was in the way before with the Seven of Swords, which seemed like this person not ending something that needed to end, they're ending it now. And so it is creating an opportunity for you to slide in there. But what's interesting is that I'm not seeing you run up to them and do anything. Like, they're running to you and being like, hey, so this happened, you know? Like, now we can have our chance. That's really what this is feeling like. Oh, Leo. Yeah, I'm telling you, this person is like, this has created, like, I ended that so we could make room for our storyline together. How romantic. Maybe that's how they feel. Yeah, they're like trying to work together with you now. They're like, it's going to be different than it was before. I'm seeing you also be cautious about that because, like, maybe you didn't like how things happened before. You may not be into this. You may not be trying to connect with them like you did before. Maybe whatever happened, like, I want to say this, I really get the vibe of this person coming through thinking, like, everything's going to be great between you guys now, and, like, maybe they're like, well, I'm choosing you, you know, I'm ending that thing, but you may be in a spot where you've, like, moved on from this, or you're like, I didn't like what happened back there, and this doesn't change that, you know, it's, like, kind of feeling like that, but I'm not seeing a definite no. I'm seeing you be like, I don't know how into, like, interacting with you in this way I am. Like, you may not want to immediately commit to something with this person. You may also feel like maybe morally or traditionally, maybe you have, like, different values than this person. But it can also be about, like, not being into committing to something right now. And maybe you feel like that's what this person wants, like, right away. Okay, Leo, I'm looking at heavy Scorpio placements. I'm also looking at Cancer. Remember, too, like, if Leo is your rising sign, Cancer can be their rising sign. Like, if Leo is your Mars, Cancer can be their Mars. It can be like that. Or you could have Scorpio and Cancer placements. Or, like, Scorpio in your 4th house, something like that. Yeah, I'm seeing, like, you've been on this journey over here of self-love and progression, and so you may be picking, you may also be in a space where you're like, I want a new love, like, I don't want to get back into, I'm hearing this rehearsal with you. So maybe you, I don't know, it seems like you're turned off within this situation, like something has changed for you, and you may not be into this the way that you were before, but I'm getting like this person is definitely, maybe you feel like they don't, you know, sometimes when you get into a situation and you feel like someone like doesn't always read the room with you, and they're just like assuming that you're on the same page as them, but your like feelings are different now, but they didn't even bother to check in. They're just like assuming that you're going to be on the same page with them. That's what this feels like. So maybe you feel like you hold space for this person, but they don't actually hold space for you. And this just proves that, them thinking that they're going to, like, waltz back in the way that they are. Because I'm seeing them, like, mad excited to come talk to you. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I don't know about all that. Like, you may think that this is, like, not the one for you. Because I'm seeing, like, you may actually turn towards the Ace of Cups, which would be, like, a new love in the future that's separated from this situation. You may not think that this person is it anymore. But I'm seeing this person for sure. It's like they're coming through. They want to talk to you. They're saying that like the relationship ended. For some of you, again, it was like a marriage that ended because somebody was like sneaking around or whatever. And it could also be that like somebody delayed. Somebody had put off like closing this cycle out, closing this chapter out because maybe of the commitment that they had with this other person. but they did what needed to be done, and then it leaves you in a space where you're like looking at all of this stuff that's sort of been unfolding between you and this person. But I'm seeing the Death card, which can mean that like you're not going to be interacting with this person in the way that you were before. You may like really not be into that, and you're like, I feel like I've been making personal progress away from you and away from this situation. So yeah, whatever this is that this person's trying to offer to you, you may be like, it's not what I want. But I'm seeing you like have not completely made up your mind. Like you don't know what the right thing is to do with it. Well, let's put it like this. You may still be trying to figure out what's going to align with you personally and your values and your like sense of justice within this situation. Because you can feel like after like how this person did you, that maybe you're not open to this situation. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I might be or I might not be, but I don't know yet. And so I need to spend time figuring this out. To have these two cards here, this shows that there's conflict that you're feeling. Conflict derives from duality. And Hermit is like, do not let this person influence your choice. Go into Hermit mode and reflect on this, and that's where you're going to get the answer that you need. That's where you'll find the clarity you need about the right thing to do here. But to have the Nine of Swords and the King of Swords, like you may really be like worried about having the conversation with this person, but you're going to be having the conversation with this person. It's going to be addressed. Also looking at Libra and Virgo here. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. Leo, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. And for anybody else that has stayed for all of the readings, thank you again, and I will catch you guys next time.